Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. Get either the Essential Plus or Premium plans absolutely free. All you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Our sponsor Blue Guardian is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and over trading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation.
Alrighty, welcome everyone. Okay, so my routine's out of schedule still, so I need to grab a coffee. So maybe that will trigger things. VB. Yeah, it was good. Had some VBs when I was in Australia. Some not the beer, but some video beers on Zoom with my mate. That I couldn't catch up with many people because of the driving. So I was like, mate, why don't we just sit down and then put on have a couple of beers and just have a video call instead of actually driving to you. That's quite nice. Then we like called other friends, got them involved as well. So there's a whole like pile of us. Then my mum came out and started speaking to them as well. That was embarrassing. Yeah, she walked in the room. She's like, "Hey, Mark." Yeah. I was like, "Mum, get out of here." Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry to do this, but I'm going to go and boil the jug real quick. Just quick synopsis. I'm looking for sells, but I want to see price. I want to see price push up a little bit. So what I reckon might happen with German is it might take this Asian low first, and then we can look for a bounce up, and then take some like lower time frame structure that's above price, and then we'll look for these sells. But I would like to see this kind of like push down and then reject somewhere around here to push up. Not sure if I want to take those buys because it will be very counter trend for the day, but we'll see. But that's what I'm going to look for. But right now, I'm going to go boil a jug, so I'll be back in a tick. All right, I'm back. So, how did we get on yesterday? More people here now. Do you guys get into the nice sells that were on offer? The New York stream. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Sometimes I find that yesterday set up really nicely, but they the it's not often that you get such a like nice sort of move. It was one-sided enough that we got this lovely sell, um, but it's not often that like if price had if London session, if Asian, the end of Asian and Euro and London wasn't so bullish, we wouldn't have got these lovely sells. Could you imagine like if the news came out and London was actually bearish and then price was here? That would have made it really difficult for these sells to come in. Well, without having like, heaps of chop, because this is just one-sided ever since the news came out. It would have been really awkward if London had pushed down, and that's the problem when you get some news. You can have the right catalyst in the market, you can have the right read on it, you can have the right result from the news, but depending on what London session and Asian session had done, can really dictate what New York will do. Because how many times have I said it that if Asian's bearish, London's bearish, New York, it's not all that often that New York will follow suit so cleanly without having some sort of like pullbacks into better areas to sell. Okay, so the only news that we have later on we're speaking about is the sentiment news. So when we get consumer sentiment, that'll move gold. And then we've got the manufacturing productivity measure. In Euro and London, there's not really anything. So what I'd like to see is we'll see if there is any sort of volume coming in, like large candles printing. If we start seeing like price breaking and closing underneath this Asian low, like quite severely, and then pushing down and pushing down and pushing down, then what I'll look for is New York low to be swept. See if there's like any like order blocks or demand areas under the New York low, and then look to actually take the counter trend move. What I want to see though is I want to see a bounce off of here, and then see that price is looking like it's on its way to target somewhere up in here. Then I'll look to take buys into sells, and then try grab these sells. I'll just recycle this area from this bit of structure to the left. Or if what would be absolutely delicious is if the pop that we get in 12 minutes from London can actually just go straight up, and then I'll look to sell down into that area. So I'd like to see that happen. For NAS, I'll talk about that later on. For gold, I would expect to see the US dollar soften. Sorry, the US dollar hold its strength, so gold has softened a bit. So I'm looking for, remove yesterday's stuff. We didn't quite get to 2050, which I thought was the next target that it would have pushed down to. Bounced off of like these little areas here. But my daily target was 2060, which got hit. And then if it could break through, I didn't hold anything to run down to 2050s. So that's okay. But I'd like to see gold. It's not really a great one to trade during London. So Yeah, I'm just going to have to watch gold. I'm not really sure. I think gold's going to be a better mover when the sentiment comes out later on in New York session. At the moment, it's just consolidating. Looks like it's dead. Oh, no sound. Oh. Thanks, Paulo. I forgot to unmute everything. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still in jet lag mode. Oh, who drew that? Did you draw that, Glenn? Hey, Tom. You're on mute, Glenn. Okay, so for gold, if we can push up and take London high, I'll look for some sells as well. So we've got NY 50%, which has already been taken. Yeah. So I want to target sells from around this area. So have to see what if price is ripping up through here, then we've got this little bit here that hasn't been tapped yet. Would I say US 30 is bullish for the day? I haven't looked at US 30, but I'd say it's what I was talking about before. I think the PPI hangover, I think the sells a bit easier for today from lower time frame structure. So if you wait for it to come back up to nice levels to sell from, but US 30, there's a lot of volatility in US 30. There's only 30 companies, so US 30 can definitely break ranks with the others. Oh, you're bearish. Yeah. I think so. I think there's a better chance that that news from PPI, I think it's is more likely that there'll still be some residual bearishness. I know that the stock market's super bullish, but I reckon there would be, I'd be highly surprised if this is the low of the day for this Asian session. So I do imagine that would have some sort of sell-off. Maybe not great sell-off, but some sell-off. As long as you've got a bias, that's the main thing. Just have a bias, whether you're looking for longs or shorts today. Wait for your levels, wait for your triggers. So I'm just going to move a little alert down here. I want to see what price does when we hit this level. I want to see if it breaks it or if it sort of consolidates and taps into that little level a few times. If it's pushing up, wicking into it, gathering that buy side, that sell side liquidity, then we could see it now come down, and I'd look to target back down. So we'll see. Right now, I'm not interested in taking any sort of entries inside of here. So hopefully London can give us some volatility, push up into this, and then show signs of rejection. The other asset I look at is German 40. And I'd like to take some sells here. But like not it did a dump. 40 pips. Yeah, it's not a coffee one. Down here. Oh, 15 minute. Let me have a look. This area here, Joe. What'd you say? Well, I see this as an area, like this whole area, where there's going to be liquidity. So I reckon they could bounce off of here with the London Open. I would like to see this little pullback and then look for the sells from up here. Whether I want to take this move inside, like do I want to trade between levels or from my levels? So I don't mind doing either on certain days. Yeah. So like yesterday was such a great day that I was quite happy to trade. Like I still wanted to look for sell when the news came out. I was only looking for sells, but I was happy. Like when you've got like good volatility, you've got good separation between levels, so you can trade between the levels a bit easier. I find when it's a little bit tight and like the hangover effect, trading between these levels can be a little bit choppy. So I got 2.5 minutes for NY. Oh, sorry, NY, Jesus. London. Can we do a wick fill? I don't know what this did. Is this on your feed? This spike? I don't know what it was. Let's have a look on. Oh yeah, the devils. The devil. The devil. The devil. It's on Blue Guardian too. I did notice it, and I was trying to think, gosh, was there like what was it? I had a look in the news around 4:40. Oh, French CPI, actual 3.2 versus 3.1, so it came out a little bit different. Only 0.1 again. So 4:45. It was all like war news, I thought. Oh no, that was even earlier. I saw these like, where was it? Anyway, we'll find it later. We've got the open here in 30 seconds. Gold looking. Yeah, but with the way that this is pulling back into these, if it can pop up, if it can do like a little thing like this, like a little fake out, kind of grabbing liquidity from under here, then I think we could actually propel up into that area. So watch, this is the open now for London. So looking for sells. Oh, NAS US30, yeah. Yesterday was a lovely day. Yeah, good little move here. 50 pips towards the end of it. Okay, so taking a euro high. Not sure yet. Happy to let the first like 10, 15, like first like next like 5-minute candles play out. I think this area presents some problems down here, this whole zone initially. So I'm going to treat that as like a bit of a target if we can get some of these sells from higher up. Want to see some rejection wicks. So what I mean by that is like candles that make a higher wick. Doesn't have to be bearish, but candles that make like a oh gosh, let me just do red. So candles like this, or even candles that do like something like this. I don't mind that as well. Long as the low, the high, long as the close closes below the previous candle's high, I'll treat that as a bit of a rejection wick, as long as this is at a nice little area. Am I happy with Pepperstone as my broker? Yeah, if my personal broker, I'm very happy with them. Been with them for years. They've had a few little issues with them at the start, but that was more my ignorance as a new trader when I first started trading. So I did leave them and we tried like other brokers, but that was like I was getting annoyed with rollover, slippage, and spreads. But that's just part of the game. Understanding that hold-in trade over rollover can give you some nasty spreads for the first hour. That was me blaming Pepperstone, but that was just me being dumb. So eventually I tried FXEM, tried IC Markets, tried a couple others. And then I found Pepperstone were the ones that were more consistent, and they always paid me out like within literally sometimes even less than a day. And I wanted to make a withdrawal, it was really good. I've been with these guys for years now. That's from my personal side. For prop accounts, I kind of went off prop. Like I didn't really late to adopt prop accounts. And then the first time I tried to dabble with it was at my Forex funds. So that left a bad taste in my mouth because they went bust when I was finishing it. So I stopped again, but now I'm trying with Trading Nut, the Blue Guardian one. And to be honest, the first time I didn't know what the spreads were going to be like, and they were freaking awful for German 40. And now they've changed their broker, where they get it from, and the spread's amazing. It's 0.4 or 0.6 right now, which is great because when I did the first challenge, it was 3.2, which was awful, really, really awful. Have I tried? I haven't tried City Index. No, I've stuck with Pepperstone. Pepperstone for my personal stuff. I'm really happy with Pepperstone. Yeah, and then it's easy to set up with TradingView. I don't trade on TradingView though. I just trade with MetaTrader. It's way easier for me anyway because I can just do like the whole one click is a lot easier for me, and like adjusting stop losses and take profits. I'm not saying there are that it's the best. It works for me, and if it works, I'm not going to change it. I can set up micro or minis. You mean like lot sizes, like mini accounts and micro accounts? You can trade all lot sizes with it. For German 40, their lot sizes for the indexes for Pepperstone, they are the minimum increments is in 0.1 lots, but it's the exact same as 0.001. So you can do your minis on there. Oh, micros, sorry. Oh, and the futures. I have to look for you. You mean like S&P minis? I'm not sure actually. I never looked. Okay. I'm bringing it up right now for you. Not sure if you can. Doesn't look like they have a category for futures. Yeah, no, I thought you were talking about mini lots, not a micro. Yeah, I don't think you can on there. I can't see it anywhere. I can't see your mini. All right, so we've come up. Let's see how it reacts to this little last bullish candle before that drop. Let's see how this candle can close. That's that candle I was talking about earlier, the one that closes below the high. Okay, if this one can close like so, then I might give the pullback a shot for a sell. So I want to see this one close first, but I'll be setting something up, pretty small stop, looking to target this Asian low. I want to see this one close outside. That would have been that normally would be a trigger for me, that candle there. But I was watching the 5 minute, so I don't want to chase this here now. So I'll see if I can retest this 3 minute candle and then form that like double rejection. And if it does that, I'll be looking for this to break support and then push down into this little target area. If you're in sales already, good job. I clearly was looking for something. I was looking for that E-mini. And I had the 5 minute candle on. So nice 5 minute close. See if we can get a retest. If this one doesn't work out, I'm still looking for sells, but I don't want to like have my stop loss up here. I'd rather just, cut it earlier, get in again if it does push higher. So 3 minute close nicely. See if we can have a bit of a pullback, like retest this bullish candle. And then risk reward's good. Keep my lot sizes low. And we'll see how that works out. Spilled coffee on my desk as well, so good job. Good morning. No, it was actually I was on the mouse pad thing. I don't know how they did that. I had no idea how to do that. I just looked down, there's coffee all over my desk. Yeah, I have to wear my daughter's bib. Yeah, gold looks like it's just dropping now. It's a bit of a pain. Let's see if it can come down, basically where this black box is. If it can get down close, then without touching it, then I'll hope that we can get a bit of a pullback, retest the structure, the area that like this whole area kind of consolidated and then broke down, and then the move started from like here. So I'll look for something. If we can push down without touching the low here, I'll see if we can get a bit of a pullback. Play this idea. German, I'm hoping that we can get a bit of a pullback. Otherwise, I missed the move. Interesting stat on DAX, average standard deviation out of IBs. IB is 0.87 on double side. IB tags days. What is IB? Wait for the FEG hairline, Daniel Savage. What's the stat, Lewis? This here won't be a limit order. This will be a market execution. If like I'm not going to just have something here on the way back up. I do want to see a wick around this area before I go in at market. Okay, just to be clear, it's the levels I'm looking at, but I need to see a wick rejection first. Initial balance. Traditional initial balance. So you mean like average volume, like range? Oh, so you're saying like wait. Because I've got some stats for the initial move for London, for the London Open, the 8 to 9 a.m. candle on average is around 78 pips. I haven't done like standard deviation or anything for the initial, like the German Open. Okay. Hey, actually, how are you, mate? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was my first idea, was wait for this area. Like this box is where I was targeting to get these cells initially. What part of it? Because it would be testing it at this level. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because that's like that wick was a bit odd in the Asian session, so I wasn't sure if it was doing a wick fill for this one. But what do you think about? Would you just disregard if we get like another 3-minute candle? Like if you get like a HCS from here. Mm-hmm. What about this one here? Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was my first plan, was for it to push up into above the Asian high into this structure that was to the left over here. I really like the idea of this one. And then have some candles that close like wicking into it, but really struggling to like gather anything from it. That was the plan I really wanted to trade from. But I am interested in this because I do have a bearish bias based on the fundamentals. But I am interested in this one. But I'm also cognizant of my first trade. Often is a little bit early. Yeah. Well, that's what I was targeting if it does it here on this 3 minutes, or even the 5 minutes for that matter. Let's do a little bit of a rejection candle. We'll see. If it just keeps on printing bullish candles like this and then breaks that high, then that whole idea is negated. How did you get on yesterday, mate? Yeah. Nice one. Yeah, I took a loss first and then got the move on this. Waited for after the news. I'll keep my eye on German 40. Oh yeah. So this was the PPI news. Then I got in for the sell here, hoping it was just going to go down, but then cut my losses early, and then was going to hold a bit of drawdown, but it was too much. So I cut it and then got back in up higher, and then got that move down to pretty much closed. I was waiting for 2160, and it missed the take profit by like this much. And then as it came down, it was agonizing to watch that. So I ended up cutting majority here, and then just left the runner to close out. But that was a good move. Oh, you got in really late. Oh, because you started the stream later, didn't you? You started the stream like 2ish. That was already done. Yeah, I was just trading structure. I was trading the 30-minute structure. This bit. This yesterday? No, that's Wednesday. That's Tuesday. Over here. Yeah, I was trading 30 minutes. Just went in on it again. Sorry, Glenn. So NAS, huh? Let's have a little peek. Oh yeah, got a little rejection candle. Yeah, come on, German. Let's see if we get any rejection wicks. Or with this is the patient trader level. Looks like it's just going to keep on pushing. There's no trade here just yet. Oh yeah. I reckon this could push up higher into the zone. If this is a proper fake out, grabbing liquidity from underneath these equal lows, finally sweeping it, then this could launch it up. So we saw that in it was actually the same price action on Tuesday here. So price pushed up, and then it came down, swept these lows, and then gave another push. Oh, good one, Chris. Okay, German 40. Did it actually close lower? Oh, kind of did. I want to see. I don't need to, because the risk reward's good. Don't need to rush this entry. 5 minute just closed. The 3 minute is giving you like a pretty decent confirmation, but the 5 minute hasn't given a confirmation yet. And we're getting close to the 30-minute candle closing. So I'm tempted to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. Because if it closes somewhere like here, then I reckon that's going to do the wick fill, break the high, and then actually go up and then complete what Akshay was saying. If this 3-minute candle closes something like this, then you'd have to be, yeah. If we break this high, then it's just even more reason for me to wait and just think that this first trade idea is just too early. Josh De Beer, 20, basically 2170. Yep, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing gold push up higher. Yeah, after such a great day yesterday, and being Friday, we don't have the same sort of catalyst, unfortunately. So so these moves can be a little bit inconsistent. We've got some good news next week, though. We've got Aussie interest rates. We've got FOMC next week as well. Come on, push. I want to see it push so that I can completely forget about this area as a sell zone, and then I can target my much preferred zone, which is above the Asian high liquidity. I'll just move this so it doesn't distract people. I mean, what if say we did give it a shot, you'd only be risking like 5 pips. Can do that now, because I couldn't do that on the previous challenge whatsoever. Because you got to factor in, you have to factor in so much for the spread. But 0.4, 0.6, that's really, really good. Excellent advice, Dan, as well. Cicada mistrades, absolutely. You can do extremely well from only trading like a few times. A lot of great traders only get a couple trade setups a week. It's important though not to spend time away from the charts. Like if you know you only get in a trade every now and then, it's good practice to be able to get to the charts and then know that you've got the resilience not to take a trade and just wait for these really clear days. But if you don't put the time in when you're at the charts, you very, very quickly get rusty. Okay, 30 minutes just about to come to a close. It's looking like a pretty strong candle. So I think it was a good one to miss. The 5 minutes still not giving anything. 3 minutes was very tempting. But that's the problem with low time frames, is that whilst they can give you the best entries, they can also give you a load of fake signals, depending on what your entry criteria is. Like the 3 minutes, if you're just strictly on the 3 minute, you would have had entries. Well, the way I look at entering. On the 5 minute though, there hasn't been an entry. And now we get into the close of the 30-minute candle. Yeah. Like what I'd go on, mate. Yeah, when you go, yeah, like it's just a weird wick at a weird time of day. So the new 30-minute candle's in. what I would see as an easy trade would be if we break this low, bounce off of here, come up, and then as it's breaking again, then I'd say taking it down for like another 20, 30 pips is a pretty good idea, especially if you can get a bit of a pullback entry sell. But I'd say that would be a pretty good idea, taking the second break of this area. You don't get the risk reward that I like to get, but you do get the safety. That is it's a much more higher probability setup if it's broken this level, broken like this trend line, and breaking it, like retesting it the second time. Much more higher probability of it's actually going to retest this Asian low. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Ivan. I thought you were talking about Tom City Index. You're asking, does Blue Guardian have the Razor and Standard? I didn't actually see the option for it. I just took what they gave. I'm assuming. Oh, I don't know actually. I'm assuming it's Razor. They don't charge commission on. I'd have to take a trade on a currency pair to work out, because they don't charge commission on indices or commodities anyway. But the spreads are low enough that I would think that it is a Razor. Gold spread right now is 0.7. Super low. Almost too low. Suspiciously low. That's what I liked about MFF, was that the spreads were low. But then it turned out that they were low because they were doing things behind the scene. Oh, I just started it. When I got back. They went through the whole changing brokers because of 8 cap pooled services. Yeah, they're horrible. Every time I did try another one. I keep forgetting the name, so I don't want to name it because it sounds similar to one of the others. But it took literally like 20 or 30 seconds to open a trade. Like you put the trade on and it just sits there pending. And like very little lag. So where is it? It was like it's too good to be true. That's the thing. The super low spreads. The lag was literally well less than 50 milliseconds. Well, if they pay out, so we'll see. We'll see if they pay out. Yeah, because their original services weren't that bad from my reports. But it seemed to be that whatever they offered the prop firms must have been on like much smaller bandwidth than their real servers. So they were just like, it was just awful experience. This is looking painful, man. Still unsure if this is going to work out or not. We're breaking this low now, taking this doji. So is it just come back to retest the trend line? We've left in balance here. I'd like to see a break. Gold's dropping as well. Looks like I just did the pullback. Yeah, got clean candles. Looks like everything just came back to, it was purely what we said at the start. It was look for price to pull back to lower time frame structure that's above current price, and then look to sell. See if there's any news that popped up. Is anyone in anything right now? Gone TP Asian high, Tom. Cool. So only 31 pips so far for this London Open. Pretty small, not much volume here. This could be a nice little reaction area, Glenn, for NAS. If we can sweep Asian high, take out the liquidity above it, take out the liquidity above this high into this little bit of structure. So see if we can get some price reactions from here. Just an alert. And we've got another zone above it, but I'd be willing to give that lower zone a shot. Do I have a shot clock time threshold for certain occurrences when trading? You mean like time of day to take a trade, or like how long it takes? Oh, sorry, Glenn. Where was that arrow? I didn't see it till this end. Did you put that blue? Oh, okay. Hey, Tom, you're a little long here from the trend lines working out well. Shock, like I prefer to take a trade. Like I don't want to take a trade like in the last like 5 minutes of a 30-minute or hour candle closing, if that's what you mean. But like in the first like few minutes, like say we get a bullish candle, and it's not a bullish candle, and the hour candle's like closing something like this, then I don't mind taking a trade in like the first 10 minutes of the new candle, especially if it's like just pushing up, knowing that it's likely that it'll have like that bottom wick. But I don't want to enter on the close unless it's pushed up into a lovely area and then close something like that. Then I don't mind like taking a trade to see if it can just push straight down from it, like kind of like this kind of occurrence on a higher time frame. But I'm always cautious if it's something. Sometimes I forget, just watching the candles, I just get distracted and I enter a trade and I immediately remember, I'm like, oh, that was like 8:30 when I took a trade, or 9 o'clock. I don't like doing those kind of timings. For how long a trade takes, if I'm sitting here watching it, obviously I don't want it to last a long time. I want it to start moving away from an entry so I can like deal with it. But if I'm sitting here and watching it, it can be an agonizing wait if it's not moving. And a lot of the time, it usually does actually work out all right. It just means I just sat here watching it, unsure of the result, and then just that feeling of being unsure if it's going to actually work out or not, and watching it sucks. I'd rather just turn the computer off or go deal with something to not watch it, because me watching it's not going to change anything. Thanks, Treadbeats. Most days, but I was just away. I was in Australia for the last month, so I only got back on basically Tuesday evening. So I resumed them again. It was a good month away, but tried to do the streams. So I did the streams with my guys, but streaming to YouTube, very difficult when I'm just taking a laptop. Need to have like other monitors at the same time, so I just didn't stream for a month. So gold's pushing up again. Pretty nice little 3-4 minute candles here. It's looking like this is on the higher time frame. It's looking like it's really done that fake out. So now we can pop up into this sell zone. 15-minute looks pretty good. That 15-minute candle. Nice bullish engulfing. Broke the low of the previous like little fat body doji. Close higher. Now we'll just see what it can do inside of this structure. If it can actually close inside of here on the lower time frames, then that 2169.5, that who was looking at that? Josh was looking at that number. That comes in play for sure. Pretty nice little move here. See if German, because at the moment, indices and gold fairly correlated. So see if we can actually get that push up. So for Tom, you'd be looking very thankful for it. I just want to see this high broken so they can disregard feeling like I might have missed the move. At the moment, if we break that trend line, that second break, then coming up, then that becomes a sell move for me. But right now, when it's sort of in this, I don't really see bearish structure. I actually see bullish structure forming. So at the moment, even though I've got the sell cap on, I'm not actually looking to take a sell from here just yet. Okay, Adelaide. Well, we've got the study session this weekend as well, so maybe see you there. But have a good Friday evening. Are you holding anything in NAS, Glenn? Yeah. All right. When I was trading NAS yesterday, so much volatility that when I was entering the trade, it was almost like zero drawdown. And when I look at it, like only looks like really small moves, but even just like getting into it when it was coming down, it was almost zero drawdown, and like that's 40 pips just in that little move here. Yeah, especially like I was actually in the city, so I just had it like the MetaTrader app open. So you don't get to see everything to the left, so you lose perspective. You just look at the numbers, you're like, geez, it's just like you enter and literally you're 5 pips already away from your entry. I'm just not considering the sells. So I'm not considering the buys. I'm looking for the sells. So like, even though I wanted to see this, like give this kind of reaction, I didn't want to take any of these buys here. Yeah, I was actually listening to this guy talking about copper only the other day, saying it's a good barometer. And then I just saw something here on Financial Juice. They're talking about the price of copper being at like a 11-month high. Oh, here, copper surges. Why am I looking for sales? Because of the PPI yesterday. I think with that, there's still just I'm just looking for the US dollar to hold a bit of strength still as they consider what that high inflation. Oh, look at this, German's starting to drop again. What that inflation had for what impact that inflation data had, that they'll be pushing back. Maybe like they're not even going, like they're still going to do, like they're still pricing in cuts for the year. But now they thought they were going to do like initially 7 rate cuts. Now it's in line with the Fed 3 rate cuts. And now before then they were looking at cutting in March. Now it's not March. Then it was going to be May. Now it's not May. Now it's going to be June. And now it's going to be, if it becomes more of a 50-50 for even June, then that's going to lead to like the stocks they got ahead of themselves, pricing in cuts too early. So that's what led to this, like one of the reasons why it led to this massive rally. And now as the market's just sort of gathering intel, all these indices are quite correlated, even the European ones with the US. Now, if oil price, we can see oil here above $80 a barrel, that's not going to help inflation come down. So if inflation is going to still be stickier, and whilst the employment market's tight, there's still no reason for the Fed to rush cuts. So any sort of impact when you've got inflation data, employment data, and the interest rates, they're the 3 things that are going to move equities, as well as guess like earnings. But at the moment, there's a lot of more pressure on the Fed to going to hold for even longer than they were expecting. So that leads to US dollar strength. So I'm looking at that to just temper any bullish drivers that's currently got gold. So whilst gold is still trading very close to all-time highs, I think there's more potential today. When I look at like where price of gold is, I don't think that this is the low of the day. I don't even think this is the low of the London session. So whilst gold could still close quite bullish, I'm sure there will be a sell move. And I don't want to go into the market with a mixed bias. That I'd rather just, I'm either bullish or I'm bearish, and then wait for price action that's going to support that view, and just look for like where predictable targets are going to be. So I still understand the whole case for gold being very bullish, but right now with a strong US dollar as well, or news that came out yesterday of a strong US dollar, I would like to be looking for sells from some area where I do believe there'll be a reaction. And maybe, just maybe, that reaction, even if I take like 30, 40 pips from it, secure some profits, maybe that reaction can turn out to be a great trade. And I'm even just like planning something like this. You're welcome, mate. I'll be right back. All right, man, this is slow. All right, so it's nearly 9 o'clock. I'm gonna have to end the Trader Nut stream. I'm still going to continue on mine because we haven't found anything yet. It's just been range bound basically since they opened. So if you want to continue, navigate over here to HaydosFx on YouTube. If not, I'll see Trading Nut guys next week on Monday. But we've still got more to do. We've got to try find, be patient, wait for this range to sort of give up this range bound condition. So Trading Nut stream. Have a good weekend. See you on my channel, or I'll see you next week. My YouTube, stay on. I know it's been boring open, but we've been sitting and waiting long enough. We're gonna get this. All right, see ya.